All right, so we are still on 1-5. We finished adding real numbers. We need to start looking at subtracting real numbers. Now let's quickly review. Yes?
Wait, there was homework, right?
We'll check our homework in a minute. Right, so let's quickly review. All right, see this.
Did we go over subtracting?
Did we
Yeah, we finished it. We finished last week.
finish the whole lesson?
Yeah. No, the only thing we didn't do is the textbook pages.
Did we do that?
No.
Okay, so let's do that. But I want to quickly review our rules for addition. All right. Can someone give me the first rule of addition? When you add two numbers with the same sign. Morgan,
When you add two numbers with the same sign, count up.
say it again.
When you add two numbers with the same sign, count up. No.
Well, if you have a number line, you can count up. But if you don't have a number line, what do? Without looking into your notebook. You should. This should be internalized by now. Yes.
When you're adding two numbers with the same sign, add their absolute values together and then add the sign.
And put the sign in front of the addends. All right. So if you're adding two positive numbers, add the two numbers, and then put the positive sign in front of it. If you're adding two negative numbers, add the absolute value of both the numbers and put the negative sign in front of it. Right? Okay. What is the second rule? John?
When you're adding numbers that don't have the same sign, you subtract from the greater number, and then you put
Subtract the absolute values.
value
Okay.
and put the sign of the greater value.
Sign of the greater value. Okay. Alright. Alright, so let's look at some subtraction problems. Right, to subtract a number, add its opposite and apply the rules for addition. So -3 minus -5 can be rewritten as Luca. How do you rewrite -3 minus -5?
3 plus -5.
Andrew?
-3 plus +5.
-3 plus +5. Okay. Now, are they like signs or opposite signs? Opposite signs. So you're going to subtract the absolute values. And that's going to be 5 minus 3, which is 2. And sign in front of the larger value is positive. And therefore it is positive 2. Okay. Wilson, help me out.
17.4 subtracted by -26.5. So you find the absolute value of -26.5, which is positive 26.5.
First, rewrite the problem for me.
17.4 plus 26.5.
There we go. Okay? And you're adding two numbers with the same sign. So add the absolute values, which will be 43.9, and put the sign in front of the addends, which will be positive. Okay. Did we do this also?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
This is the only thing we didn't do.
Okay, so let's look at this. Oh. Okay. All right, a robot submarine dives 803 feet to the ocean floor. It rises 215 feet as the water gets shallower. Then the submarine dives 2,619 feet into a deep crevice. Next, it rises 734 feet to photograph a crack in the wall of the crevice. What is the location of the crack in relation to sea level? Right, so it's going up and down a lot, correct? Okay. Henry, can you tell me which ones would be positive and which ones would be negative? Because I think that's an important thing to know, correct? Okay.
When it rises 734 feet, it's positive, and yeah, that's it.
Then the others are negative.
And yeah,
Okay. So I'm going to circle. Which one's positive?
215
215 is positive.
and 734.
734 is positive. And what's negative?
2,619
2619 is positive.
negative,
Sorry, negative.
and 803 is
And 803 is also negative. Okay. Lulu, so what do you think I should do here?
You should add the positives and negatives.
Okay. What is the assumption we're making? What is the starting point here?
0.
Raise your hand. Morgan?
Well, so it's sea level.
Sea level is always 0. Okay? So it's going down 803 feet. So it's minus from 0, it goes to 803. And then it rises 215 feet. And then it dips 2,619 feet. And then it rises 734 feet. Now, tell me, using your math sense or common sense, is your final value going to be a positive or a negative? And the reason I'm asking is sometimes students write, the value that's not supposed to be here because they're not applying common sense. Okay? Natalie?
It's going to be
It's going to be negative. Whether you apply your math sense or common sense, it has to be negative because the submarine is meant to be under the water, not fly in the air. Okay.
also
All right. So let's go from 0 to 803. What is my net change? Wilson?
Minus 800.
Minus negative 803. And then I rise 215 feet. What is the net change? Caleb?
You have to subtract. You have to add.
Okay, I'm adding to 215 to that. Then I'm going to subtract 2,619 and then add 734. But what might be helpful is if I change everything, all the operation to an addition operation. Can I do that? So I'm going to take the 0 minus 803 and change that to what is it? So I'm going to do 0 plus 0 plus negative 803. The next operation is addition, so I'm not going to worry about that. And then I'm going to change the minus 2,619 to plus negative 2,619. Okay? And then I'm trying to group them. What property am I using here?
Oh, yeah.
Wilson, what property am I using? Sam?
You're using the commutative? No.
Commutative property. All right? What does the commutative property state?
I think it's something like the way you group a number doesn't make a difference.
Not grouping, that's associative property.
The order in which.
The order in which, that's the key word. The order in which you add the numbers do not matter as long as you are adding or multiplying. Okay? All right, so I'm just going to put all the positive numbers together. So 0 plus 215 plus 734, and then I'm going to subtract the negative values or add the negative values. So 215 plus 734 is 949, and then I'm going to add negative 3422, because if I add these two numbers, what do I get? Right? And the net change would be negative 2,473. So that's where the crack is in relation to sea level.
So in relation to the context, it's 2,473 feet below sea
Correct,
level.
exactly. So what I should say is,
Is it hard to use the iPad?
we'll see. So it's 2,473 feet below sea level.
It might be easier writing it all in this way.
Okay. All right. No, there's a stylus that comes that's created exclusively for this app. So we're trying to get that. I'm just using a generic stylus. Okay. All right. Any questions? No. So you can handle both addition and subtraction. Okay. So, pardon me. Okay. 1 second, Quincy.